Hello again guys. Welcome to my channel. In this second part of episode 3 about Age of Overlord set, and more exactly about Supreme King Zed Arc new supports, I will talk about 2 of the new monsters and last quick play spell. Enjoy! First card to introduce you is Pendulum monster card called Supreme King Dragon Lightwurm. You might heard of his brother called Supreme King Dragon Darkworm. It's light attribute monster with level 4. It's dragon tuner monster and have 8 for scales. It's have 1200 attack and 1800 defense, and those effects, 4 pendulum effect, if a monster or monsters is special summoned and you control Supreme King ZARC and another pendulum monster, except during the damage step you can special summon this card, then you can make the level and attribute of either this card or one pendulum monster you control become the same level and attribute as the other. So if you special summon other pendulum monster like Supreme King Gate Magician or Odd Eyes Dragon, or just make pendulum summon and you control Zed Arc, remind that Odd Eyes Arc-Ray Dragon is also Zed Arc. You can special this card and then target other monster to make both levels the same and same attribute. That way, you can overlay for rank 7 XYZ monster or even to synchro if you have the right materials. You can only use this effect of Supreme King Dragon Lightwurm once per turn. For monster effects, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one face-up Supreme King Dragon or Supreme King Gate pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. Then, immediately after this effect resolves, you can synchro or XYZ summon one Supreme King Dragon monster. You can use its pendulum effect and monster effect to make great XYZ summon or synchro summon. Also, you can add cards like Supreme King Gate Infinity, Supreme King Gate Zero, or the new one, Supreme King Gate Magician, if they are in your extra deck face-up. If a face-up pendulum monster or monsters you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, while this card is face-up in your extra deck, you can add this card to your hand. Good way to add it from the extra deck, but it's very situational. You can only use each effect of Supreme King Dragon Lightwurm once per turn. Easy way to add things from extra deck to your hand, and great for easily XYZ or synchro monsters. Next new monster from supports is called Supreme King Gate Magician. It's light attribute pendulum monster, and it's spellcaster level 7. Level 7 just like Odd Eyes Dragon. It's have 1 for the scales which work well with Lightwurm for pendulum summons and 2500 attack and 2000 defense which is good for cards like Soul of the Supreme Celestial King and Pendulum Evolution. It has those effects, 4 pendulum effects. Supreme King ZARC, you control cannot be banished by your opponent's card effects. Good protection for the real Zed Arc and 4 Odd Eyes Arc-Ray Dragon. During your main phase, you can destroy this card, and if you do, place 1 Supreme King Gate pendulum monster from your hand or deck in your pendulum zone, except Supreme King Gate Magician. Work well with the last monster effect of Supreme King Dragon Lightwurm and can put Supreme King Gate monster except itself to the pendulum zone. You can only use this effect of Supreme King Gate Magician once per turn. For monster effects, if you have a Supreme King Gate card in your pendulum zone, except Supreme King Gate Magician, you can send 1 Pendulum Dragon, XYZ Dragon, Synchro Dragon, or Fusion Dragon monster from your hand or extra deck to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. Too bad it's sent to graveyard not to extra deck, but could work with cards like Soul of the Supreme Celestial King, or Supreme Rage. Also, it's free special summon which is good for pendulum effect of Supreme King Dragon Lightwurm. If this card is special summoned, you can add one card that mentions Supreme King ZARC from your deck to your hand, except a spellcaster monster. So, if you use the first effect, there goes second effect that allow you to add monster, trap or spell that include ZARC in its text except himself or other spellcaster. Good way to search. You can only use each effect of Supreme King Gate Magician once per turn. Last card for this part of the episode, and also last spell for the supports is called Wings of Light. It's quick spell card with those effects. During the main phase, add one Supreme King Dragon or Supreme King Gate pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. Very similar effect of Supreme King Dragon Lightwurm, but add from deck not from extra deck. Also, you can see that the picture is actually of the Supreme King Dragon Lightwurm monster. Or if you control Supreme King ZARC, you can special summon it instead. So, if you have Odd Eyes Archray Dragon or Supreme King ZARC, you can summon the monster which will activate the first pendulum effect of Supreme King Dragon Lightwurm. Nice way to search and special, and also to overlay or synchro. That's everything for this part of episode 3, guys. I hope you enjoy it. In the next last part, I will talk about last 2 extra deck monster, one of which is not Supreme King ZARC support, but work very well with pendulum monsters. Don't miss it. If you enjoy my videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the videos for even more episodes and videos. Also, if you have suggestions for other games or cards you want to see, write below in the comments. See you in the next part of this episode.